The Middle East crisis has been a story of unimaginable pain, resilience, and a desperate search for answers. For the Bibas family, the anguish has been amplified by a recent unverified claim. This horrifying allegation suggests that Hamas militants killed the Bibas children, Kafir and Ariel, with their bare hands. This chilling statement, lacking any verifiable source or corroborating evidence, hangs like a specter over the already agonizing situation. The Israeli government has not confirmed these claims, and international organizations are working tirelessly to ascertain their veracity. The absence of confirmation only deepens the uncertainty and amplifies the pain for the Bibas family. They are left grappling with a horrific possibility, unsure if they should grieve or cling to the slimmest thread of hope. The world watches, waits, and prays for answers, dreading the potential confirmation of a monstrous act that would stain the conscience of humanity. October 7th, 2023. A date forever seared into the memory of Israel. It began like any other Saturday, a day for family, reflection, and rest. But this tranquility was shattered by a wave of violence that swept across the nation. Hamas militants stormed into Israel, unleashing a torrent of terror and bloodshed. Amidst this chaos, Shiri Bibas and her 2 young children, 4-year-old Ariel and 8-month-old Kafir, vanished. Their home in southern Israel became a crime scene, the remnants of a peaceful life scattered amidst the debris of a shattered dream. The Bibas family, along with hundreds of others, were swept up in the maelstrom, their fates unknown, their absence a gaping wound in the hearts of loved ones. As the dust settled on that horrific day, the true scale of the horror began to emerge. Communities were devastated, families torn apart, and a nation left reeling in shock and disbelief. The search for answers, for justice, and for the missing began amidst the ruins. For those kidnapped on October 7th, a terrifying and uncertain journey began. Imprisoned within Hamas's clandestine network of tunnels and safe houses, they became pawns in a deadly game. The world outside became a distant memory, their lives reduced to whispers in the darkness. Communication with the outside world was non-existent, leaving families to grapple with the agonizing silence. The hostages' physical and emotional well-being remained a constant source of worry. Were they being fed? Were they injured? Were they still alive? The mental toll of captivity, the isolation, and the constant fear chipped away at their resilience. Every day became a struggle for survival, a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure even in the face of unimaginable cruelty. The international community condemned the kidnappings, demanding the hostages' immediate and unconditional release. Yet within the shadows, the captives remained, their fate hanging precariously in the balance. In the fog of war, truth often becomes the first casualty. The fate of Shiri Bibas and her children is shrouded in conflicting narratives and deliberate obfuscation. Hamas, the militant group holding the hostages, has presented a narrative riddled with inconsistencies. Initially, they claimed Shiri and her children perished in an Israeli airstrike, a tragic consequence of Israel's military response. However, they have offered no verifiable evidence to support this claim. No wreckage, no bodies, no independent confirmation. Adding to the confusion, Hamas later insinuated that the children were killed by their own bare hands. This chilling allegation, devoid of context or corroboration, has sparked outrage and skepticism. It is seen by many as a cruel attempt to inflict further pain on the Bibas family and the Israeli public. Israel, on the other hand, maintains that at least half of the remaining hostages are alive. They view Hamas's pronouncements as psychological warfare, designed to sow discord and demoralize. The Israeli government has not confirmed the deaths of Shiri and her children, clinging to the hope that they might still be alive. Section 5. A Nation in Anguish. The Bibas Family and the Heart of Israel. The Bibas family has become a poignant symbol of the collective grief and resilience of the Israeli people. Their story resonates deeply, embodying the pain and uncertainty felt by countless families torn apart by the conflict. The families' public pleas for information, their unwavering hope amidst agonizing silence, have touched a nerve across the nation. Their faces, beamed across television screens and plastered on missing posters, serve as a constant reminder of the human cost of this conflict. The Israeli public, while grappling with their own losses and anxieties, have rallied around the Bibas family. Vigils are held, prayers are offered, and messages of support pour in from across the country and around the world. This outpouring of empathy underscores the profound impact of this tragedy. The Bibas family's story is a stark reminder that behind the headlines and political maneuvering, there are real people, real families, enduring unimaginable suffering. Section 6. A fragile ceasefire: terms, progress, and uncertain futures. Amidst the ongoing conflict, a glimmer of hope emerged with the signing of a multi-phase ceasefire agreement in January 2025. This fragile truce, brokered by international mediators, offered a roadmap for de-escalation and the potential release of hostages. Under the terms of the agreement, Hamas committed to releasing 33 hostages in exchange for the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. This first phase of the exchange, while a positive step, left 94 hostages, including the Bibas family, still in captivity. The agreement's long-term viability remains uncertain. The situation is complex, with deep-seated mistrust and conflicting interests on both sides. The specter of renewed violence looms large, threatening to derail the fragile peace and extinguish any hope of further hostage releases. The international community has pledged to monitor the ceasefire's implementation and exert pressure on both sides to uphold their commitments. However, the path to a lasting peace and the safe return of all hostages remains long and arduous. Section 7. Yarden's ordeal: facing an unimaginable loss. Yarden Bibas, Shiri's husband and the father of little Ariel and Kafir, has endured an unimaginable ordeal. Kidnapped alongside his family, he was separated from them during the chaos of that fateful day. Weeks later, he was among a group of 11 male hostages released by Hamas due to physical or psychological infirmity. The joy of his release, however, was shattered when he was informed of his family's alleged demise. The video of this moment, released by Hamas, is heart-wrenching. Yarden, his face etched with exhaustion and despair, listens as his worst fears are confirmed. The weight of his loss is palpable, his grief amplified by the uncertainty surrounding the circumstances of their deaths. Yarden's story is a stark reminder of the devastating human toll of this conflict. His journey back from the abyss of captivity is just beginning. He now faces the daunting task of rebuilding his life, carrying the memory of his beloved wife and children with him every step of the way. Section 8. The long road ahead: hope and despair in equal measure. The road ahead for the Bibas family, for the families of all hostages, and for the people of Israel is long and fraught with challenges. The recent ceasefire offers a glimmer of hope, yet the situation remains volatile, and the pain of loss and uncertainty lingers. For the Bibas family, the search for answers continues. The lack of confirmation regarding Shiri and the children's fate only amplifies their anguish. They are suspended in a limbo of grief and hope, clinging to the slimmest possibility that their loved ones might still be alive. The Israeli public, while united in their support for the hostages and their families, grapples with the emotional toll of this ongoing crisis. The scars of this conflict run deep, and the path to healing will be long and arduous. Section 9. The unanswered questions: seeking truth and accountability. As the world watches and waits, crucial questions remain unanswered. The fate of Shiri Bibas and her children hangs in the balance, their story a stark reminder of the human cost of this ongoing conflict. The need for independent verification of Hamas's claims is paramount. The international community must demand transparency and accountability, ensuring that all parties are held responsible for their actions. The search for truth and justice must continue, for the sake of the Bibas family, for the sake of all hostages, and for the sake of a lasting peace in the region. The world cannot and must not turn away from this tragedy. We must remain vigilant, demanding answers and working towards a future where such horrors are never repeated.